Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and a video on the Rockbot, which is our trading bot here at Day Trading Radio, exclusive to Day Trading Radio members. But I do have in this bot running for the public overnight usually. You could find it on DayTradingRadio.com. That's www.daytradingradio.com. And I usually put that out, turn it on overnight for the overnight trade. Now it's always running on what we call the Rockbot channel, which is, like I said, it's a membership option here at Day Trading Radio. And today and the last few days, I've been upgrading it. We've recently upgraded to the next version 2.0, where we added a new strategy or a new parameter. A really great addition to the Rockbot is the ability to have those stops automatically placed at the divergence low, instead of trying to guess where that divergence, or placing that stop and moving it after the fact. Now it automatically gets placed for you. And I've been having this thing run every night this week, making sure everything's running good, and it's absolutely doing fantastic. I'm so excited about it. And I really wanted to talk about different ways you could track this to see if this is something that could help your trade. And if you trade futures, it's built to trade the ES, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, any type of futures contract. I use it with the MES. I think it's made perfect for the MES. And there's a lot of videos I put out there. If you go to Day Trading Radio, you'll see, right on the bottom here, the Rockbot, how to get the Rockbot running on your computer and stuff. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to a page that's dedicated to the Rockbot, and from that point on, you'll see a lot of videos explaining how to run it, how to set it up, what it's used, how it works and stuff. It's just a great informational site on exactly what you get with the Rockbot, and you also get the Tradeometer, which is another fantastic algorithm that points out long and short areas in the market. So these working together, it's just unstoppable in the market. So just want to update you on that. I want to show you a picture of the Rockbot and explain some things to you. And like I said, there's a couple of ways. I attached it to my Twitter, so now the now the alerts are going out over Twitter, and you can actually see them at Day Trading Radio Twitter account. So whenever a live alert gets triggered on the Rockbot, it gets tweeted out, the entry, the exit, the profits, everything. And it's pretty instantaneous, so you might want to look for that. If you're not following the Rockbot, you could follow it on Day Trading Radio's Twitter page. So we're going to look at the, I just want to bring up, I do have the 5-minute setup here. Now there's a couple divergence bots, or a couple scripts that we use on the bot. One is the 1 minute divergence, and then we have a 5-minute. We also have a super signal. We have a bull and bear flag, but we're going to concentrate on the 5-minute divergence. Usually if we look at the Rockbot channel, I'll have a large chart which will represent the 1 minute time frame, and then I'll have a smaller chart overlaying that, which will represent the 5-minute time frame, and I'll have the scripts running on each of those time frames, identifying the setups on each of those time frames, basically. And what you'll notice is that the 5-minute gives you fantastic longer term entries. Now, these are still for scalpers. This is definitely a scalping tool. But with the 1 minute, it's kind of a hyper scalp, and we're looking at, on average, I always take my first profit off after 4 ticks, and then we have a break-even stop that moves right up, so it really protects your profits really fast on that. On the 5-minute divergence, you tend to have bigger moves, and in lots of cases, that 5-minute divergence will point out the best place in the on the chart or during the day to go long or short, depending on what script you're running. But remember, each candle represents 5 minutes, so it's a different time frame. And remember, we're using, a lot of times we pay attention to momentum. The methodology is really based on how momentum and pivot areas and charting by how that momentum shifts, and we could actually time that momentum and see if each one of these candles is 5 minutes versus a 1 minute candle. That is a big difference. That is a big difference. There's 5 1-minute candles in here. And lots of times we're looking for a stochastic rotation to take place in, I would say, 5 to 7 candles. So a 1 minute divergence trade at most is usually 5 to 7 minutes. We're looking at that. And sometimes it happens really fast. Maybe it doesn't even take that long to get to our profit area. With the 5 minute time frame, if we're talking about 5 to 7 candles, we're always talking about the candles, 5 to 7 candles to get that rotation from over sold to overbought. It's not going to be 1 minute. Each candle is going to be 5 minutes. But if you're still looking for that 5 to 7 candle rotation, then we're talking 25 to 35 minutes basically. And that's a much bigger time frame and you have a much bigger profit potential on this. And these are the ones that you're going to use trading. And this is what the concept of today's video is. Even though we're getting great signals on the ES or the MES or whatever you're trading, maybe you're not cut out to trade futures. Maybe it's just too expensive for you. Whatever the reason, you don't like trading futures. The other thing I would recommend is trading, and again, we're just going to concentrate on index options, like the SPY options, the underlying ETFs on the index, the Qs, but the options on the Qs for the NASDAQ. But let's break it down, because we're going to be actually concentrating on the MES, which is the micros. You have the minis, which is the ES, which each point represents a $50 move per contract, versus the micro, which is 1/10 of that, and then from that point on, it's each point would be 5 times the how many contracts you have. So you'll be seeing this running, and you'll see that 5-minute divergence. But during the day, and again, this will be a trading technique during the day, during the market hours, which are open, and you can trade options on it. We're going to be focused on the SPY options. All right. I also love, again, letting this just run on the MES. And I'll show you how that runs on the MES. I'll just give you a fast overview of it. Like I said, there's a lot of videos out on this and showing you, the different parameters and stuff that I use. Let me break this down for you a second. Hold on. All right. Here is the Thunderbird 5-minute script. It's loaded. What I want to do is just deactivate it so I'm able to look at the parameters and then show you the parameters. So right now, these are the parameters that you're able to change if you have the bot running on your own machine. But as default on the Rockbot channel, it is set to run. I'm just going to break off. It's set to take off first profit after 8 ticks. 8 ticks. That's 2 points basically. And lots, or how many contracts it's trading, is 5. Now I think that's a great combination to let this thing go by itself if you don't want to. I'm not. I always say this needs to be used as an indicator in itself. When you get an alert, you double check it. You make sure the market conditions are right. You make sure that there's no additional news that's moving the market, because the market's always moving. You could get divergences based off of news and flash moves and stuff, and algorithms and buy programs and sell programs. So you want to really always do this. But for those people who want to do more of a hands-on, or actually a hands-off kind of autopilot, I would highly recommend starting off with the MES. It's lower risk. Start with 5 contracts. That's defaulted on there. Or you're going to follow it. If you're following it on the show, I'm just letting you know what the underlying script is telling it to do. So it's taking profits after 8 ticks, and it's taking 2 contracts off. Then it has another profit at 16 ticks, and if it gets up to 16 ticks from the original, it'll take another 2 off. Now the stop loss here, this is a new addition to the version 2 instead of the version. It just used to be you put in your stop loss whatever you want. New version now enables you to put a signal bar low. meaning wherever that divergence comes in, one tick underneath that is where the stop is going to come in. So it kind of automatically does exactly what we want to do automatically, instead of placing our trade or placing our stop after the trade is taken. So it's more automatic here, and I love the set. It works great. But if you want to put your own stop in there, you find the market's very tight and maybe it's not giving us any big moves, you want to tighten things up, push it to ticks, and then you could assign your own stop loss. You can put whatever you want. You can put 6, 4, 8, 28, whatever. But again, this is where you would change it, the signal bar low. So you don't really have to worry about stop loss if the signal bar low is set. Trailing stop, I love this feature. And again, I always try to keep it standard that after the first target gets hit, I move the trailing stop up, or that's where it stops. In this case, with the 5 minute, I want to let it run a little bit more, so I let the trailing stop as the first profit is being hit, but I'm trailing it by 16 ticks, so it's like 8 ticks underneath the break even, and I'm giving it some room to run because the 5 minute time frame tends to give us a bigger move, and I don't want to get. I just want that. You could do whatever you want on this. In the case if you want to really have a tight and good one, make this 8 and make this 8 too, and that'll keep your break even stop come up, and it'll be right at break even, so you're not going to lose any additional trades or anything. Like it takes the profits off of the first 2 contracts, break even, trailing stop, and it will follow it up, so it's guaranteed to lock in those profits. But like I said, you could give it a little bit more space. I like to give it a little space, let it come back a little, really give it some time to work its magic. So I'm going to keep it at 16. And that's what you're going to see on the bot currently running now. So if you want to set something up like that, you can. And as you can see, when I do activate it, it will go back and it'll backfill all the divergences that were set up on the chart recently. And again, you can see the entries, trailing stops to move up, first targets, second profits usually being hit, and it works great. So the other big thing I wanted to really discuss, and again, this will be running, this usually runs overnight around 7 p.m. until the morning hours, when I get in here about 8 o'clock in the morning and start trading, and then it goes live. Then it goes on its own channel. It's called the Rockbot channel, and that's on the inside of Day Trading Radio's membership platform. So if you want more, if you want to watch it full time or get access to the code, then head over to DayTradingRadio.com and you get more information on that. So for now, as you can see, and this thing will run, it'll run overnight. I prefer it, especially that 5 minute time frame. Lots of times in the morning, you'll get a big divergence and it'll identify the divergence for it. There was a beautiful divergence here. It looks like that was yesterday, right? Yesterday, the 15th. What is today? I don't even know. Today's 16. So yesterday, right at the open, I remember seeing that divergence hit too. It was a nice candle. A beautiful candle reversed, and then from that point I went up, and then actually a little pullback, had another divergence long, and it ran right back up. And back here there was another one, and that ran right back up. First profit, second profit. It was beautiful. I mean, this thing is just kicking butt. There will be cases where you won't get to your profit areas. It might pop, and then there could be news. But I don't like using it overnight. As you can see, it says 2100 hours here. So the overnight, I don't really prefer using it for that. You can have it running just to do some back testing, just let it run, and maybe it keep you busy, keep you occupied, and keep you company if you're trading overnight. But I would be more, again, you're not going to have the volume, you're not going to have the big swings like you do, especially from early in the morning around 9:30 open on to, to the close. So really pay attention to it around 9:30. And then, again, this is the part I wanted to kind of go into, is how else could we use this other than automating it and using and trading futures. Well, I like to trade SPY calls off of this. or puts, depending on how you look at the market and which signals you're going to take, long or short. So in this case, we're going to say about 9:30 it opens up and we had a good divergence. And I said, all right, that's a really good divergence. It has a lot of things going for it. It has a trend line break. It has a reversal candle. Has everything. It had recent support. It was a great area. So this is an area I would look to buy SPY calls based off of the divergence. And again, I want to just kind of show you that. So we're going to go to 9:30 yesterday on another chart here. That's fuse. That's a SPAC here. Let's take a look at the SPY. Let's take a look at the SPY actually, because that's what we're going to deal with. And the 15th right here. Where is it? All right, so here was the 15th. Now, the because it's the cash chart, even though we're seeing a divergence there, the low candle, you even see the divergence was a divergence based off of the SPY here. These two little peaks right here, calling for a divergence. For example, or argument's sake, we're going to say that you want to take a position in the you get an alert and you want to take a position in the SPY calls. You have access to the SPY calls. You're not trading futures. You want to somehow take a position based off of this divergence here at 9:30. All right, so you go to your SPY. You find out where your SPY is trading at that time. And remember, this is actually the micros or the S&P it's tracking. So just the and at that time we were trading about $343, $343 at the open, or it gapped down. All right, it gapped down. From that point on, you could actually, I want to look at the underlying option chain. Now these are different because, you know, if you're scalping these, you probably want to take close to in the money type of trades, meaning very close to the strike price and very close to expiration, usually that week's expiration. And you're going to see that these are giving you real cheap prices. It's very liquid. It's easy to get in and out of. So let's take a look at what we have. Now it is the 16th today. I don't know if these will still be on my screen. 343. All right. Let's see if I can 343. All right, there it is right here. So you can see the underlying chart here. Now, for the day, there's actually a gap there. That's what that line represents, is that a gap. We came right down to that gap line. I mean, it was really a fantastic level. It actually made a nice run from that for the last 2 days. Now, for the last 2 days, let's use this chart for the last 2 days. Let's just say we were looking at this, and we're gonna. Well, let's do 1 day. That's what we came in here to saying. So you took that position, you got a nice divergence, you go long at the open. Basically, that's what we're doing. Let me get that out of the way. And just kind of giving us a benchmark and what we're looking at here. From open to close, the SPY calls we're up 1%, up about $3.81. If you got in the morning and you wrote it and you closed it out at the end of the day, that's a 1% move in the SPY. Now, again, are you buying shares of the SPY at $350 looking for a 1% move? No, you're not. You're not doing that. So you're looking at the underlying options. At that time of those options are traded at about $3, which $300 per contract. Better. And then let's just go with the same technique here. You wrote it all the way to the move here. The comparable move here is 55%. A 55% move, or $1.69. Now that's a 55%, 50% on your money that you put in. Based off of that pattern. And again, I'm just giving this as a comparison so you understand you get a lot for the leverage here, and it's a little lower risk. And this is the other way I'd like to trade the Rockbot. If you're not trading the futures, trade the underlying SPY options based off of whatever you're trading. If it's the NQs or the NASDAQ or the Russell or whatever, you get the get the options, the underlying options on those ETFs, kind of in the money or right at the money, near the current expiration. You could go out a little bit, and you're going to add a little premium to it. And it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you could actually get these things pretty cheap. $3 again that's not bad. It doesn't sound that bad, but lots of times I get into these options plays and they're $1 or something, and they're good scalps. You could get 50% on your money. You could buy 5-6 of those for $600-700 and make $300 off of it. But it all begins with this. It all begins with the signals. So each one of these signals could give you a nice opportunity. If you took that one signal and held it the whole day, again, nothing wrong with that. That happens. Or the smaller moves. Let's go out one more time. Let's look for another setup. It's say this one here. It looks like it's. We can't do the options on this. This is in the morning. But as you can see, the divergence comes in early, and then we have this nice move up into the open, and then we sold off. I'm just looking for something during the open. This is the overnight too. Again, nice pullback overnight, pretty organized, very organized, and a nice pop. And again, you know what? You have that. You're going to have that to watch overnight. So feel free to do whatever you want with it. You're going to get the alerts. You're going to see the entries and stuff. Not much here. Here's something. All right, so there's not much here. I have to clean this up a bit to kind of see exactly. There's a lot of chop here. 5-minute divergence. First profit. Let me see. First profit, second profit, and trailing stop. That was like 10:45. Was not a bad divergence. That was same thing here. 5-minute divergence. First profit, second profit. See, these are pretty big moves. It's pretty good, actually. The 5-minute gives you a lot more. Here's a nice one back here. A lot of these things are happening overnight too. So overnight, again, if you're going to deal with it, you don't want to get. You might have a broker that's really charging a lot of money for margin for futures. Maybe look at some of the cheaper discount brokers for that. I know Infinity has like a 500 margin, 50 on MES, $50 per contract on the MES margin is really good. NinjaTrader has a good, discount for futures margins, and there's a lot of other ones out there that you just have to look around. And once you start doing that, you have a good, low risk, tremendous tool in your favor to trade, and everything's being identified for you. Everything is being identified for you. I mean, look at these entries. Look at this. The 5-minute is where to go. It's not as exciting as the 1 minute. The 1 minute gives you a lot more. The 5-minute maybe gives you a beautiful entry here at 9:30 again. 9:30 divergence. It took profits all the way up. It went up 95 to. This is the MES. This is a big move. Wow. It's like 35-point move off of that original divergence, and it continued to move higher. I mean, that's all you have to do. You get a shot like this. Let's break that one down for you. Let me make sure what day that is. That is, shouldn't give me a day. October 12th. So October 12th, right at 9:30, 9:45, October 12th. October 12th. That was October 12th right here. And it was a perfect divergence here. It started off the day. You can even see it on that. Had a nice run up all day. And let me zoom this out a little. Again, just kind of a comparison just to show you what you could get out of this. You go long, you don't want to trade the futures. Here you have a 1.27% move. It went up $4. The SPY went up 4. But look at this. Look at this incredible move at the high, to the highs here. It went up 50% again, up $3 and change. Started off, if you got in early, you know, again, futures are this was going out, but if this was in the, let's take a look. I know I'm all rambling here, but at the time when you're taking this, you always want to take that option near that price. So this was about price. What the SPY was about 340, 349. We'll call it 350. $350 here. Now the market's come right back down from that level. And again, that's not where this thing ended up. So the thing ended up expiring. Let's but for a scalp, I mean, this is, now look at the price we're dealing with here. We're dealing with something about $2.30 per contract, and you know, it moved up 137%. 137% on that signal. 144% up, $3 and change. It went up $3 and change. I mean, you could have got it at 230 and sold it at 5 and change. I mean, 130% on a nice divergence move like that, trading the SPY. So that's what we're going to concentrate on a lot. I think hope you take advantage of that. It's a good way of actually not being overwhelmed by the market, getting into some really good high probability trades, not risking a lot, you know, building a business plan, building a trading style based off of divergences, and really having the tools to identify these divergences are great, and have them automate for you. I mean, in this case, you know, the way I'm seeing this, I wouldn't mind developing this to take some option trades. I mean, that's going to take a little time and stuff to figure all that stuff out. But right now, this is set to, you know, it's set to trade futures. But the signals that are given to you can be applied to any other trading vehicle that surrounds the, you know, that the current index that you're trading off of. In this case, this is the ES. The S&P 500. I mean, you have the MES, you have the ES, you have the SPY, you have the SPY futures. I mean, the calls and puts. So there's so many different ways to trade these signals. You just have to find the one that's comfortable. I like the MES, and I like the SPY options on that. And the setups are there. So if you have any questions on it, feel free to contact me. Again, this is something I built for Day Trading Radio members. You get the code, you get everything for free as a lifetime subscriber to Day Trading Radio, if that interests you. But like I said, I do put it out there. It's on the Twitter. It does spit out all the entries and exits, so you can actually follow. You're not seeing the chart, But at night, you can see the chart. If you want to see the chart during the day and see all the entries and everything, join Day Trading Radio. Come on down. We have hundreds of traders in our chat room, trading rooms, trading off of these indicators. You get the tradeometer also, which I haven't even gone into. But just check out all that information. Look at the links underneath. You can find some more information. Hope you enjoyed this, and hope you use the tool that I'm going to put out there for you guys for the overnight. And sometimes during the day, you'll see that. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. I'll see everyone in the markets.